Every map on Earth has been drawn. Every continent has been named. Every ocean has been measured. And yet, the planet is still hiding places so extreme, so scientifically improbable, so completely beyond ordinary human experience, that standing in them feels less like travel and more like visiting another world entirely. These are the most impossible corners of planet Earth. 1. Dalol, Ethiopia. The hottest place humans have ever chosen to live. The Danakil Depression in northeastern Ethiopia sits 410 feet below sea level, making it one of the lowest points on the surface of the Earth. The average year-round temperature here is 94 degrees Fahrenheit, not the summer high. The annual average. Acid pools of neon yellow and fluorescent green sit beside salt crystals of blinding white and geysers of superheated brine that reach temperatures of 450 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. The colors here are not enhanced. They are produced by sulfur, iron oxide, and halophilic bacteria so ancient that scientists believe they represent some of the earliest life forms that ever existed on this planet. NASA researchers study Dalol not as a travel destination, but as the closest thing on Earth to the chemical environment of early Mars. 3 tectonic plates are actively pulling apart beneath this landscape, meaning that every year, Dalol moves slightly further below sea level, slightly closer to the mantle of the Earth. The Afar people have lived here for thousands of years, mining salt from the lake beds in blocks transported by camel caravan to the markets of the Ethiopian highlands, exactly as their ancestors did 3,000 years ago. They have never left. They have never needed to. This is home. 2. Oymyakon, Russia, where cold rewrites the rules of existence. In the Sakha Republic of Eastern Siberia, a village of approximately 500 people has recorded a temperature of minus 89.9 degrees Fahrenheit, the coldest temperature ever measured in a permanently inhabited settlement in human history. At minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit, exhaled breath freezes before it disperses, creating a constant soft hissing sound as the air crystallizes around every person who speaks. Schools in Oymyakon close only when the temperature drops below minus 62 degrees Fahrenheit for elementary students. Below minus 69 degrees Fahrenheit for high school students. Read that again. Minus 69 degrees Fahrenheit is considered a reasonable school day. Pens stop working. Batteries die within minutes of exposure to the open air. Glasses freeze to faces. And cars, if turned off, may never start again, which is why many residents keep their engines running continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, through every winter. The ground beneath Oymyakon is permafrost, permanently frozen earth that has not thawed for over 1 million years. There is no running water. Pipes cannot be buried. The dead cannot be buried easily either. Graves must be pre-blasted from the frozen ground with fire and steam. In winter, the sun rises for only 3 hours, and yet, people are born here, raised here, grow old here, and die here, not because they cannot leave, because this, impossibly, is home. 3. The Qiantang River. Tidal bore, China. The wave that has killed for 2,000 years. Every year, with the precision of a calendar rather than a natural event, the Qiantang River in China's Zhejiang province reverses, not slows, not surges, reverses. The tide from the East China Sea is funneled inland by a narrowing estuary, and what emerges is a wall of water traveling at 25 miles per hour, reaching heights of 30 feet, generating a roar audible 20 miles away. This is the Silver Dragon, the world's largest tidal bore, observed and recorded continuously for over 2,000 years since the Han Dynasty. The energy of this wave is sufficient to sweep a person off a reinforced concrete embankment from a distance of 50 feet. Not the water, the pressure wave that travels ahead of it. In 2013, a group of spectators standing behind officially designated safety barriers were swept into the river simultaneously by a single surge. The wave is not random. It is not unpredictable. It arrives on schedule, at the calculated time, on the calculated date, and still, every year, it kills. Standing on the bank of the Qiantang during the Silver Dragon is one of the few experiences available to a traveler on this planet where the danger is not theoretical, it is mathematical, and it is beautiful. 4. Vatnajökull Ice Caves, Iceland, where blue light comes from centuries. Vatnajökull Glacier covers 8% of Iceland's entire surface. Beneath it, 7 active volcanoes are burning, meaning that this glacier sits directly on top of live magma, in a geological arrangement that has no equivalent anywhere else on Earth. Every winter, meltwater carves entirely new cave systems through the ice, systems that did not exist the previous year and will not exist the following year. Each cave is a one-time creation, formed and destroyed in a single season. The blue color inside these caves is not a trick of light or a reflection of the sky. It is produced when glacial ice, compressed over centuries until every air bubble has been expelled, absorbs all wavelengths of visible light except deep blue, which it reflects back in a color so intense and so specific that photographs of it are routinely dismissed as edited. Some passages extend over 300 feet. The silence inside is absolute. Not the silence of an empty room, but the silence of a material so dense that it absorbs all external sound. A new cave discovered in 2023 was officially named Big Mac, not after the burger, but in honor of the American couple named McDonald, who were the first humans to witness its formation. Every blue room they walk through will be gone by summer. Every blue room is the only one of its kind that has ever existed, and every one of them is melting as you watch. 5. The Uros Floating Islands, Peru, a civilization built on reeds that rots beneath your feet. At 12,507 feet above sea level, high enough that a simple conversation leaves first-time visitors breathless, Lake Titicaca contains a settlement that should not be possible. The Uros people build their islands entirely from totora reeds, woven into floating platforms that sit directly on the surface of the lake. The platforms are not anchored to the lake bed. They float. They can be moved. When threatened, the Uros sever their anchor ropes and paddle entire islands to new positions, a defense strategy passed down through generations. The surface of each island is a living platform that is continuously rotting from below, requiring fresh layers of reeds to be added from above every few weeks to prevent the entire island from dissolving into the lake. Walking on a Uros island means walking on a platform that is in a constant state of simultaneous construction and decay. The white core of the totora reed, known locally as the banana of Lake Titicaca, is edible, rich in iodine, and eaten daily by the community as both food and oral medicine. The islands have no foundations, no concrete, no steel. They are made of grass. They have existed for centuries, and the people who live on them, at an altitude that leaves ordinary humans gasping, go about their daily lives with the practiced ease of people who have never found any of this remarkable, because for them, it is simply Tuesday. These are not the most beautiful places on Earth. They are not the most visited. They are not the most photographed or the most famous. They are the places where the planet itself seems to be operating by different rules, where the laws of temperature, gravity, geology, and survival have been rewritten by forces so extreme that human presence within them feels less like habitation and more like a declaration. A declaration that wherever the Earth goes, however impossible, however hostile, however beyond the ordinary edge of existence, human beings will follow. Subscribe for more journeys to the impossible edges of our world, and tell us in the comments, which of these 5 places would break you first?